Hello everybody, welcome to the MaffmanJones movie channel. I'm your host John Matthew, and today's featured movie is The Dark Tower. It's an adaptation of a bunch of books that were written by Stephen King, this epic fantasy that stars Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, and the story is about this young kid named Jacob who has these dreams, these visions of this midworld and the gunslinger and the man in black, and his parents are telling him, no, it's fake stuff, it's fake, it's all in your head, you have to go, be a normal kid, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out his visions, snap, are real. So when he finds that out, he finds a portal to go into this other dimension, this other world. He finds our gunslinger, Idris Elba, and they go on an adventure to stop Matthew McConaughey, before he takes over the world. For some reason. Because Matthew McConaughey wants to destroy the tower that keeps the world safe from the utter darkness and monsters and creepy things that lie beyond our universe. Woo-hoo-hoo! I was never interested in the source material that this film came from, but now I do want to read these, because it seems like, even though this film doesn't really scratch the surface of what this story entails, there's a lot going on here. A lot of characters, a lot of species, a lot of story, this mid-world, they regarding Earth as Keystone, the Man in Black, the Gunslinger, these wars that happen, these battles that happen. There's so much that apparently went on in this story, because this movie takes place after those novels. And what's weird about this film is that it's supposed to be this grand finale, it feels like, for what happened in the previous books, but it's just kind of anticlimactic. It just seems like it's there. It has existence, but it's not really doing anything awesome with its existence. It's just there. We hear so much, as I just mentioned before, about the story that happened before, about these battles and this rivalry between the Man in Black and the Gunslinger, but yet I don't really feel the impact. And I feel like even if you read the books, you see a movie like this and you're expecting this grandiose thing, and it will fall flat, because it fell flat for me, who has not read the books. Some of the environments are really visually interesting, and the Gunslinger as a character, I really like where he's at, because he's being played by an incredible actor. But besides from that, you don't really get much from him besides the fact that he has a past, a history with this Matthew McConaughey character, the Man in Black, who is portrayed worse from a screenwriting perspective in the movie, and you can argue from a performance perspective from Matthew McConaughey, because they don't really give him that much to do. Yes, he looks imposing, yes, he acts imposing, just seeing his look, his presence, walking around Earth and doing things that he does to certain characters is creepy and scary and intimidating, but it doesn't mean the character's good. We see him this entire film chasing these kids to put them in this machine so they could try to destroy this Dark Tower, but you never really get good motivation from him. Even though this is a sequel to the novels, you have to establish to people why these characters exist and why they're doing what they're doing, and you never really get a clear understanding of why Matthew McConaughey wants to destroy this tower so much. Is it just because he's pure evil? Is it is there a reason why? Based off this, you would just think, oh, he's just a jerk-off. I was actually really impressed by the main actor in this movie, the protagonist. His name is Jacob in the film. I don't know who the actor is, but I hope he gets more work in the future, because he does really good work with some decent screenwriting material. He doesn't really have much going on, but it's fleshed out as much as they could, and he has some really good scenes with the Gunslinger. They make you feel like he really, really believes in these characters in this other world, and he really wants to go there, but you don't really get that much aside from that in his personal life, and you're supposed to get the impression that his life is his mother. And that's really it. If his mom didn't exist, then everything would go to shit. But I wish there was more to him than that. But the actor does a lot more with the material than a lot of other young actors probably would, and I give him props. There are a handful of action sequences in this movie, and if you're falling asleep during the sequences where there aren't action, this will certainly at least wake you up. My biggest problem with the movie, though, is that it seems like wasted potential. We hear so much in the movie about what happened before the movie that it makes you want to see what happened before the movie rather than what we're actually seeing in present time in this. Although I did really like this character of Jacob, and the story he takes to find the Gunslinger and taking on the Man in Black once and for all after all these battles. I wish we would have gotten more of what happened prior, really. This movie makes you want to read the books and find out more about that, and it kind of bores you in the movie we're getting presented, and it's kind of sucks. So yeah, Dark Tower, it's not the worst thing in the world. You can see much worse movies. I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but it's not a bad movie either. It has some redeeming qualities. There are a couple of scenes in the movie that are straight out of a great movie, but there's a lot of scenes that come from a bad movie. And when you put the whole thing together as a product, it just comes out to being this mediocre, not mess, because it is a coherent movie, but it just feels flat. It feels like it's just there. It exists because it was made. And I know that's the most boring sentence I put out from my mouth this whole video, I feel like, but it's true. The biggest compliment I can give the movie is that you'll watch and you'll be like, maybe I want to pick up one of those Stephen King books, one of those gunslinger books, because I actually might really like that more than this. But it's a gateway drug to much better drugs. Not saying to do drugs, but it's a gateway to better things. Probably shouldn't have mentioned the drugs part, but you get what I mean. It's a fine movie, but I feel like it's going to do one or two things. It's going to either bore casual moviegoers who don't know the source material, or it's going to disappoint people who are fans of the books. The Dark Tower is a Sam Worthington Applebee's meal. Now I want to know from you guys, what you think of The Dark Tower? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed my review of The Dark Tower, please like the video, subscribe so you won't miss a video from me ever again, and also check out my social medias and everything else down below. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.